Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get start. We are discussing the complex integration. Actually, we have finished the complex integration in the last lecture, but let us have one more example so that there will be a continuation with the topic. We evaluate the line integral. Let me recall the theorems we have discussed in the last the important theorems in complex. That is Cauchy's theorem. What it says, Cauchy's theorem says, if fz is analytic on and within a closed curve, it is also called closed contour, then integration over that closed contour fz is 0, right? That is the Cauchy's theorem. But if fz fails to analytic at one point, then we have the Cauchy integral formulas. What the Cauchy integral formula says, formula number 1, if fz is analytic on and within a closed contour except singularity at z is equal to a, then what can we say about the integration? Then function value at that singularity is the 1 upon 2 pi I integration over the closed curve C fz upon z
Z
minus a
minus A.
dz, where this function value, this function is nothing but this function, numerator function, which is analytic. Okay. Now the Cauchy's second theorem says, if singularity z equal to a is multiple, see here only one singularity, right? Z minus a to the power 1, that means it repeated only once, isn't it? But if it repeated more than 1 2 3 times, if z equal to a is a multiple singularity, then we have one more version of Cauchy integral formula. What it says? It says, suppose z equal to a is a singularity of order n plus 1. Okay. So with this, we can have the Cauchy integral second version. It says nth derivative of the function at that singularity at a is equals to n factorial upon 2 pi I integration over the closed curve C f z upon z minus a to the power n plus 1 dz. Yes or no? So these are the two important theorems in Cauchy's. If the function is analytic everywhere, if it is entire, then the integration over the any closed curve in that region is 0 always. But if there is a singularity of order 1, then we use the first formula. If there is a singularity of order more than 1, then we use the second formula to integrate to get the required integrals. These are the required integrals. Is this clear? And the next third formula we have discussed as a Cauchy residue theorem. Third, Cauchy residue theorem. Okay. It says, if in a region uh, where that region is bounded by a closed curve C, if there in a region there are more than one singularities like this, these are the singularities at which the function is not under. This is suppose this is a1, this is a2, this is a3, a4, a5, and so on, ak, a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, and so on, ak. These are the k number of singularities, right? So if the function is not analytic at these singularities, then the integration value I'm writing here, if fz is analytic on and within a closed contour except singularities a1, a2, and so on, an or ak, sorry, then integration over the closed curve C fz dz is nothing but what? Yes, it is equal to 2 pi I times sum of residues. Sum of residues. Yes or no? Sum of the residues. Where what are these residues? Residues is nothing but what? If first is if z equal to a is a pole. Pole means what? It is a singularity in the denominator, right? It is called a pole of order 1. It is also called simple pole. अगर order 1 का pole है तो उसको simple pole बोलते हैं. If z equal to a is a pole of order 1, then what is the formula to find residue? Then residue at z equal to a is, yes, what is the formula? Limit at z tends to a, z minus a, f of z. This is the formula to find the residue of a simple pole. Okay? And if it is a pole of order 2, then we have the second formula. If z equal to a is a multiple pole, then residue at z equal to a, suppose that pole is of order n, multiple pole, is that is z equal to a is a pole of order n, then residue at z equal to a is equal to what? Yes, any one of you? We already have used these formulas in Z transform. Right, so that is limit at z tends to a. क्या होगा बताओ? 1 upon n minus 1
n
factorial,
minus 1 factorial
n minus 1th derivative, right? Into
z minus a to the power n.
z minus a to the power n
f of z.
F of z.
fz, right? Okay, so that this when we write this f of z, z minus a factor to which we have problem that will get cancelled out, then the rest का हमें n minus 1th derivative निकालना है, and then limit at z tends to a, you'll get the required residue. So with these two formulas, we will get the residues at those poles, whether it is simple or multiple. We collect all those residues here. We take the sum into 2 pi I will be the value of required integral. Right? So let us apply this to one example. Evaluate. Suppose integration over the closed curve C sine pi z square, sine of pi z square plus 2z upon z minus 1 the whole square, z minus 1 bracket square into z minus 2 dz. Where the curve C is a circle, mod z equal to 4. Mod z equal to 4. So first of all, let us draw the circle. With radius. What is the radius of this circle? Yes, the radius is 4 and the center is 0, na? Because this can be written as z minus 0. Mod of z minus 0 equal to 4. So वो क्या होता है? वो सर्कल होता है with center at 0 0 and radius 4. Right, so here it will be minus 4, 4i minus 4i. ठीक है? Let us now investigate the singularities of denominator, that is the zeros of denominator are the poles here, right? So what is fz here? Here
Sine
fz क्या
pi.
है? fz is sine of pi z square plus 2z the whole upon z minus 1 square into z minus 2. Therefore, what is the singularities here? Here z equal to 2 is a simple pole, right?
Yes.
Z equal to 2 lies inside the curve. You can see it will be here 1, 2, 3, and 4. So Z equal to 2 will be here somewhere, right? And Z equal to 1 will be somewhere here. That is again inside. So both are the singularities lying inside the contour, right? This is our region. ये पूरा region है. दोनों singularities इसी के अंदर आ रही है. So we have to find the residue at both of these singularities. And if you look at this denominator, z equal to 2 is a simple pole, right? Simple pole means pole of order 1. And z equal to 1 is a pole of order, कितने order का होगा वो? 2. Isn't it? So we find the residue because by Cauchy's theorem, therefore, I'm writing the theorem by Cauchy residue theorem. By Cauchy residue theorem, इंटीग्रेशन ओवर द क्लोज कर्व सी एफ जेड डी जेड क्या होगा? 2 पाई आई टाइम्स सम ऑफ रेसिड्यूज. Isn't it? So let us find the residues now. So we have the two poles, therefore we will be having two residues. So therefore residue at z equal to 2, रेसिड्यू किसका होगा? रेसिड्यू ऑफ एफ जेड एट जेड इक्वल टू 2 विल बी व्हाट? लिमिट एट z टेंस टू 2 z minus 2 into, as it is simple pole, being a simple pole we are using the formula of simple pole. ठीक है, so z minus 2 fz, so that is equals to limit at z tends to 2 z minus 2 into f of z. What is f of z? It is sine of pi z square plus 2z upon z minus 1 the whole square into z minus 2. Isn't it? This is the complete f of z. And if you see, as this is the problematic factor to us, that is getting cancelled with this, right? And now you take the limit at z tends to 2, we substitute z equal to 2 everywhere. What we'll get? Therefore, that is equals to z is 2. So z square, that will be 2 square, 4. Sine of 4 pi, sine 4 pi plus 2 into 2, 4 upon
1.
2 minus 1 the whole square, that is 1. So how much it is? Sine 4 pi will be 0 because sine n pi for all n will be 0, right? Isn't it? So that will be just 4. Is this clear to everyone? The first residue we are getting to be 4, right? At simple pole. Let us now find the second residue at z equal to 1. क्या होगा वो? That is equals to limit at z tends to 1. What is the order of this z equal to 1? इसका order कितना है? 2. So n is equal to 2, right? So 1 upon n minus 1, let me write the formula first. 1 upon n minus 1 factorial, n minus 1th derivative किसका? z minus a raised to n
F of z.
fz, right? Z equal to a लिखता हूं मैं यहाँ, z equal to a. So therefore we use this formula, residue at z equal to 1, z equal to 1 is equal to limit at z tends to 1, 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial is 1 only, right? And n minus 1 is 1, so d by dz of z minus 1 the whole square fz. fz क्या है? Sine of pi z square plus 2z upon z minus 1 the whole square into z minus 2. So that is again getting cancelled, the problematic factor, and the rest का पहले तो हमें डेरिवेटिव लेना चाहिए. So limit at z tends to 1 d dz of this. So इसका डेरिवेटिव क्या होगा? u by v रूल से z minus 2 v into डेरिवेटिव ऑफ u. तो बताओ डेरिवेटिव क्या होगा?
Cos pi z square into 2 pi z.
एग्जैक्टली cos ऑफ साइन का डेरिवेटिव cos pi z स्क्वायर into pi z square derivative in with respect to z is 2 pi z, right? Minus sin pi z square plus 2z into z minus 1 का z minus 2 का डेरिवेटिव 1 the whole upon z minus 2 the whole square. yes or no? So आप इसमें सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दो z equal to 1 तो क्या होगा? that limit is z minus 2, so this is minus 1 sin of pi cos of pi, right, into 2 pi minus sin pi and plus ये क्या है 2 upon 1 minus 2 that is minus 1 the whole square is 1. तो ये कितना होगा? cos pi is minus 1 minus minus plus ये तो 2 pi हो गया, sin pi 0 minus 2 upon 1, so 2 pi minus 2. कुछ गलत किया मैंने? एक बार चेक कर लो. हेलो, अच्छा इसका भी डेरिवेटिव है ना, इसका डेरिवेटिव है ना, ये मैंने कंसिडर नहीं किया. u इंटू डेरिवेटिव ऑफ दिस है ना, सिर्फ इसका डेरिवेटिव लिया हियर. प्लस 2 भी आएगा ना वहां, प्लस 2 विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू z, तो यहाँ प्लस 2 भी है, प्लस 2. तो ये माइनस 1 इंटू प्लस 2, तो ये माइनस 2 हो जाएगा, माइनस 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 2 माइनस 4. अब शायद सही है, 2 पाई माइनस 4. You please check once. Okay, so therefore the required integration over the closed curve C fz dz क्या है? 2 pi I times sum of residues. What are the residues? The first one is 4, right? 4 plus the second is 2 pi minus 4. तो ये कितना आ गया? For 4 getting cancelled, 2 pi into 2 pi I, 4 pi square I, and that is your final answer. सबको क्लियर है? एनी डाउट, एनी क्वेश्चन? एवरीवन जस्ट ड्रॉप योर रिप्लाई इन चैट बॉक्स. एवरीवन?
Yes, sir.
मावशी इथून घे. एक मिनिट. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
सिर्फ 4 लोग, 4-5 लोग रिप्लाई कर रहे हैं. एनीवेज ठीक है. So this is all about the complex integration. I have shared the tutorial also. You solve those questions, and even I have shared the question bank on my blog also. I'll share the link. Okay, so you just check the question bank and try to solve all the questions. And if we get proper time, we will solve few more questions. But now the last topic remains here to discuss about the conformal transformation. That is the third topic. As I said earlier, there are only 3 important points throughout the 6th unit: analytic functions, second is complex integration, and the last is conformal transformation or the Mobius transformation, we said. So this is again very important point. Conformal transformation or transformation is also called mapping, conformal mapping. Right? Mapping क्या होता है? Mapping, do you know mapping? Mapping or function f from some domain to codomain, right? Domain to codomain. तो ये होता है mapping, transformation. ठीक है? So here we are going to discuss the complex transformation. Under the complex transformation, some specific domains, maps to specific domains. Right. So suppose if we say we already have discussed about the function, complex functions. That is, if we have w is equal to f of z is a function, then this function f maps points from z plane to points in a w plane. Right? We have z plane and w plane in complex. Suppose this is our z plane. Z plane means z equal to x plus iy, means x axis and y axis. The points from z plane gets mapped to points in w plane. In w plane, what is real part? Real part क्या होता है w plane में? U, and imaginary part is v, if you remember. Right? So this is w plane and this is z plane. Z plane. So we are going to discuss the transformation of some standard, we can say domains into some standard domains in W plane under the transformation W equals to f of z. This is our transformation mapping. So it will map some points from Z plane to points in W plane here. Okay. So basically, if the mapping, if the mapping preserves the angle of transformation, that means suppose if we have the two curves here in z plane, suppose if we have the two curve, the curves are like this. Suppose this is one curve and the second curve is like this, and they are both meeting, suppose in a particular point z naught. Z naught, suppose. And the theta, how do we find the angle between these two curves? Do you know? How do we find the angle between the two curves? Yes, any one of you? Do you have any idea? Actually, to find the angle between the two curve, what we do, we first of all draw the tangent to the curve at that point of intersection. And the tangent, oh, what happened? The tangent is nothing but what? Or sorry, the angle between the tangent is nothing but angle between the curve, right? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So to find the angle between these two curves, we draw the tangent at that point, and the angle between the tangent is nothing but the angle between the two curves. So we do the same thing here also, that we draw the tangent to the curve, and the angle between two tangent is nothing but the angle. Let us call this angle as a phi and this angle as a theta. So the word conformal means what? Angle preserving property. Conformal is a property actually of complex transformation. Conformal means angle preserving. Conformal Means what? Angle preserving. It means what? For any two curves in Z plane, if those two curves gets transformed to a W plane under the transformation F, this is W plane, this is U axis, this is V axis, here X axis, this is Y axis. Okay. So if these two curves gets transformed in W plane under the transformation F, by preserving the angle, that means whatever the angle they are having in Z plane, the same angle they will be getting in W plane. Doesn't matter whether the curves are same or not. You can see, suppose this curve, let me change the ink. This curve is mapped with this curve, and this curve is getting mapped to this curve. Is this clear? So the nature of curve is not same. That means curves are different. But if we check the angle between the two curves, it will be same. Are you getting my point? Hello?
Yes,
So
sir.
the angle is preserved here, whatever the nature of curve, but the angle of intersection between the two curve will be preserved, and that is nothing but the conformal mapping, angle preserving mapping. So basically, conformal means whatever the mapping and the transformation, and irrespective of the magnitude, the angle is getting preserved. So there are some important points of this conformal mapping. But any doubt, any question in the uh, definition? Hello? For the
No, sir.
conformal mapping?
No, sir.
Okay. So the properties of transformation, the first property is translation. Translation. Translation means what? If we have, suppose, w equal to f of z as a function, then that independent variable z will get translate horizontally, right? That is called the translation. Suppose, for example, or the translation property is specified by the formula w equal to z plus h, where h is another complex number. Z is also a complex number. Z का representation कैसे होता है? Z equal to x plus iy, and h is also a complex number of the form h1 plus iy1, h2, h1 plus ih2. ठीक है? So with this, suppose suppose as we all know that, suppose I have discussed already that y equal to x function, if I add plus 1 or minus 1 into x, what it will be, what there will be a change in horizontal, right? Suppose y equal to x is a line. If I add plus 1 into this, that line gets shift to left by quantity minus 1, right? Isn't it? So there will be a horizontal shifting. If I add minus 1, then that line will get shift to the right side by quantity by distance 1. So that kind of transformation is this. Is this clear? The only thing is that this is real transformation and this is complex transformation. But the logic is same. सबको clear है? That is called the translation property. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we have discussed while discussing the properties in offline lecture. So this is translation w equal to z plus h, where z and h both are the, what we can say, the complex numbers, right? Suppose z equal to x plus iy and h is equal to h1 plus ih2. What this w gives? W equal to, say, suppose x plus iy plus this is h1 plus ih2. तो इन दोनों का सम क्या होगा? रियल का सम, that is x plus h1 plus I times y plus h2. And that is again a complex number. So that means what? Under the transformation, suppose I have in z plane w equal to z means what? x z means a line again, right? In z plane, w equal to z is a line for every x. No, that is not just line. That will be any point, and each point w equal to z is not just line, because z equal to x plus iy. You can give any number to x and y. So that is, for example, x is equal to 1 and y equal to 2. So 1 plus 2i. X equal to 2 and y equal to 1. That is 2 plus I. So these 2 points are different, right? So for each point in z plane, इसका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन क्या होगा? अंडर दिस ट्रांसलेशन प्रॉपर्टी क्या होगा? कैन यू इमेजिन? Each point gets shift to what? h1, na? Horizontally h1 and vertically h2. तो प्लस h1 मतलब बैक शिफ्ट बाय h1. सो अगर इसका पोजीशन यहां है तो h1 डिस्टेंस से वो पीछे आ जाएगा, यहां आ जाएगा, एंड h2 डिस्टेंस से वो ऊपर जाएगा, दैट विल बी अप शिफ्ट बाय h2. सो ये इसका पोजीशन यहां होगा. इज दिस क्लियर? हेलो?
Yes.
हाँ, सो हॉरिजॉन्टल एंड वर्टिकल शिफ्ट होगा, दोनों साथ में ही होगा. सो ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट इज गेटिंग शिफ्टेड लाइक दिस, हॉरिजॉन्टली एंड वर्टिकली. तो इसका शिफ्टिंग कैसे होगा? दैट विल बी लेफ्ट शिफ्ट एंड अप शिफ्ट. सो दैट विल बी समवेयर हियर एंड हियर. इज दिस क्लियर? तो ये होगा उसका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. इसका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन बोल रहा हूं. क्लियर टू एवरीवन? सो ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट अंडर दिस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन गेट्स शिफ्ट horizontally as well as vertically. So that is why this property, the transformation, is called translation. Translate हो रहा है, every point is getting translate. Second property, rotation and magnification. Rotation and magnification. So that is specified by the formula w equal to cz, where c is any complex number and z is also a complex number. C is of the form c1 plus ic2 and z is of the form x plus iy. And we know the multiplication of the two complex numbers. When we do multiplication by separating their real and imaginary part, what we get? That will be actually will be of the scaling type of property actually, isn't it? I mean, suppose if we have z is a complex number and we are multiplying to that complex number by quantity c, that means, see, logically देखो आप, diagrammatically देखो कि ऐसा, I know z equal to x plus iy complex number is somewhere here, and with respect to that we have its radius vector, right? Modulus r. And we are when we are multiplying by another complex number c, its modulus will be getting increase or decrease. अगर c आपका just real number है 2 3 4 integer, then the modulus is getting increase. But if it is rational number, if c is a rational number of the form 1 upon c, then the modulus will be getting decrease. Yes or no? Modulus के बारे में बात कर रहा हूं मैं. Hello? So that is just like a scaling, zooming. आपका जो अगर स्मॉल फिगर हो तो उसको जूम करके हम देख सकते हैं, और अगर लार्ज फिगर है तो उसको हम जूम इन करके देख सकते हैं. इज दिस क्लियर? सो एक्चुअली दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज यूज्ड इन जूमिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज. This multiplying factor c is giving either zoom out or zoom in. ठीक है? The next is inversion property 3. Actually I can explain with the help of example, but you peoples are not replying, so I don't know whether it is clear or not. And anyways, I can discuss the next property. If it is not clear, if you are not able to visualize this, you can ask. Otherwise I'm moving ahead. Inversion property. The next property is inversion, inverse. So if we have w equal to f of z, then w equal to 1 upon f of z kind of property is called inversion property. Inverse ले रहे हैं हम complex का. So whatever the figure in the z plane, that is getting inverted in w plane under this transformation, inversion transformation. ठीक है? Inversion. And the last theorem, last property is the bilinear transformation, which is very, very important for theory point of view. Bilinear transformation. So what the bilinear transformation says, if we have w equal to f of z as a transformation, then w equal to a plus bz upon c plus dz is also a conformal mapping. और इसको ऐसे भी बोल सकते हैं ए जेड प्लस बी अपॉन सी जेड प्लस डी, कैसे भी लिखो चल सकता है. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड अ बायलिनियर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. ठीक है? दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज कॉल्ड बायलिनियर. बाय मीन्स टू वेरिएबल में लीनियर है. आप देख सकते हो लीनियर मीन्स ऑर्डर और पावर 1. तो यहाँ w का भी पावर 1 है, z का भी पावर 1 है. एंड दिस फॉर्मूला इज in the two variable, that is why it is called bi and linear, bilinear transformation. Okay, so with the help of this we are going to see the transformation of points in z plane to the transformation of points in w plane. Okay, so this is the basic definition of bilinear transformation. And there are properties of bilinear transformation. The first property is bilinear transformation maps, it maps circles onto circles. मतलब अगर कोई सर्कल है z प्लेन में तो वो सर्कल को ही मैप करेगा w प्लेन में. ठीक है? बाइलिनियर ट्रांसफॉर्म मैप्स सर्कल्स onto circles. And the second property, the cross ratio is constant. The cross ratio is constant. Now what is meant by this cross ratio? So there will be definitely one question on this cross ratio property. So please try to get this. Cross ratio is constant. First of all, let me tell you the cross ratio. So if we want to see the transformation of the points in z plane to the transformation points in w plane, we consider some points of the form say z1 z1 z2 z3. And if these points getting transformed to the points w is in general point, to w1 w2 w3, then how do we write the cross ratio to these points in z plane? That will be z minus z2. देखो मैं कैसे लिख रहा हूं, z this minus this, z minus z2 into z1 minus z3, this minus this, upon z minus z3 first and last into z1 minus z3. And the same thing, because as it is constant, this cross ratio will be same onto the w plane also, that is w minus w2 up into w1 minus w3 upon w minus w3 into w1 minus w2. This is constant. Cross ratio is constant. Is this clear? So with the help of this, we can check the point. Suppose 1, 2, 3 maps to what in w plane under this. So what we do, we substitute z1 z2 z3 into this onto the left hand side, and we will try to write the expression for w. Okay, suppose in that case the function is also given, fz is also given, and we can find the points maps to what. Actually this is nothing but f of z, if you check this. Okay, so what we do, we will be asked in exam, find the transformation which maps some points in z plane to the points in w plane. So these points will be given to us, and with the help of these 2 points we have to find the value of this function fz. हमें find out करने के लिए पूछेंगे. ठीक है? Let us have an example on this cross ratio property. Suppose if we have given, the question is like this: find the transformation which maps, find the transformation which maps the points 0, -1, I. First question. Find the transformation, find transformation which maps point 0, -1, I of z plane to infinity and half into 5 plus I of w plane. Question clear है सबको? We have been asked to find the transformation which maps the point, these points in z plane to these points in w plane. Is this clear? तो कैसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे? जस्ट हम इनको सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे क्रॉस रेशियो प्रॉपर्टी में. So the cross ratio property solution. What the cross ratio property? Let us write first of all. We have the points z, z1, z2, z3 and maps to w, w1, w2, w3. So how do we write cross ratio? That will be z minus z2 into z1 minus z3 upon z minus z3 z1 minus z2. The same thing here, w minus w2 into w1 minus w3, right? Upon yes, upon w minus w3 into w1 minus w2. So let us substitute the points given. We have given z1, z2, z3, w1, w2, w3. So we substitute those points. What I'll be getting? z minus z2 क्या है? यहां मैं लिख रहा हूं z1 is 0, z2 is -1 and z3 is I. w1 is 2, w2 is infinity and w3 is 1 by 2 into 5 plus I. ठीक है? So इनको सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे आप. तो z minus z2 तो क्या है? z2 -1, राइट? इनटू z1 क्या है? 0 माइनस z3 क्या है? I अपॉन z माइनस z3 क्या है? I इंटू z1 क्या है? 0 माइनस z2 क्या है? -1. एंड द सेम थिंग ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड, w माइनस w2 क्या है? इन्फिनिटी. दिस इज एन इंटरेस्टिंग नाउ. इन्फिनिटी पे क्या करोगे आप? है ना? w1 है 2, w2 है, w3 है हाफ इंटू 5 प्लस I. The whole upon w minus w3, that is half into 5 plus I into w1, that is 2 minus w2, 2 minus infinity. Is this clear? मैंने कैसे सब्स्टिट्यूट किया, सबको क्लियर है? Hello?
Yes.
So if we look at the, first of all let us solve the right hand side. अगर आप देखोगे राइट हैंड साइड में तो इन्फिनिटी एक पॉइंट दिया है. इन्फिनिटी अगर हम सब्स्टिट्यूट करते तो एवरीथिंग शुड बी गेटिंग इन्फिनिटी ना. बट हम क्या करेंगे? इसको कॉमन लेंगे, इन्फिनिटी को कॉमन लेंगे. दैट इन्फिनिटी इज गेटिंग कैंसल्ड विद द डिनोमिनेटर इन्फिनिटी. एंड जब ये न्यूमरेटर में आएगा इन्फिनिटी w के, तो वो क्या हो जाएगा? 0 हो जाएगा, राइट? तो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर इन्फिनिटी वाला फैक्टर है ना, that is getting cancelled with the infinity wala factor in the denominator. Whether, doesn't matter whether it is in z plane or w plane, it is getting cancelled. Always remember. ठीक है? So क्या बचेगा फिर इसमें? लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में बताओ. z प्लस 1 इंटू ये है माइनस I अपॉन यहाँ है z, ये है 1 इंटू z प्लस I, सॉरी z माइनस I ना, z माइनस I इक्वल टू राइट हैंड साइड में क्या होगा? 2 plus 5 by 2, sorry, minus 5 by 2, 2 minus 5 by 2 minus I by 2 upon W minus half into 5 plus I. ठीक है, तो इसको हम कैसे करेंगे, इसको हम W के लिए लिखेंगे. We will write this for W and that will be our required expression. So I request everyone now, I don't have that much time, but what you need to do, you need to write the whole expression for W is equal to the remaining and that is your required transformation. Can you do this? आप ये I से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, अंदर I से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो क्या होगा, I से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो ZI, that is IZ and minus IZ na, minus IZ and minus I into I minus I square will be plus 1. So 1 plus I, 1 minus IZ upon Z minus I is equal to, यहाँ ये क्या होगा, minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 minus I by 2 upon W minus 1 by 2 times 5 plus I. ठीक है, तो आपको आपको क्या करना है, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में आपको रैशनलाइज करना है एंड राइट हैंड साइड में भी आपको रैशनलाइज करना है. सो दैट सपोज 1 माइनस आई जेड इंटू जेड प्लस आई अपॉन जेड माइनस आई इंटू जेड प्लस आई, but that will be quadratic instead of this. Don't rationalize it. You just need to extract. आप इसको कैसे लिखोगे, देखो, I will be writing W minus whatever this is equal to minus of 1 plus I upon 2 minus 1 by 2 लिखता हूं मैं, चलेगा, I by 2 एंड इसको मैं इधर लेके आ रहा हूं, दैट इज इनटू Z minus I upon 1 minus IZ. Is this clear to everyone? And now I'll writing W is equal to minus half into 1 plus I into Z minus I upon 1 minus IZ plus this bracket. तो bracket क्या है वो? That bracket is half into 5 plus I. सबको क्लियर है? एंड दैट इज योर रिक्वायर्ड एक्सप्रेशन. यू कैन सी द होल राइट हैंड साइड इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ Z ओनली. तो आप जैसे जैसे Z को सब्स्टिट्यूट करते जाओगे वैसे वैसे आपको W पॉइंट मिल जाएगा. इज दिस क्लियर? एंड दिस इज व्हाट द रिक्वायर्ड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. आप इसको और सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हो बाय कंबाइनिंग इट्स रियल एंड इमेजिनरी पार्ट. सबको क्लियर है? सो आई हैव ऑलरेडी द लास्ट simplification part, that is W is equal to 2 plus 3Z upon 1 plus Z. You just check this. इसका simplification करके ये आएगा and that is the bilinear transformation. Can you see this is of the form A plus BZ upon C plus DZ? Hello?
Yes.
So this is of the form A plus BZ upon C plus DZ. That is the required bilinear transformation. ठीक है? Is this clear? Any doubt, any question? And even it is not necessary to follow this property only, cross ratio property. You can use the basic definition of bilinear transformation, that is by considering W is equal to A plus BZ upon C plus DZ. What you'll have to do, you'll have to substitute first of all Z1 and corresponding W1, because Z1 is getting shifted to W1 ना. तो W1 हमें सपोज दिया है, क्या दिया था W1? 2 is equal to A plus B and Z1 क्या दिया था? 0, right? 0 upon C plus D into 0. तो यहां से आपको A अपॉन C का एक्सप्रेशन मिल जाएगा, राइट? A अपॉन C is equal to 2. सिमिलरली बाकी 3 पॉइंट्स को यूज करके आपको 3 ऐसे रेशियो मिल जाएंगे. उन तीनों रेशियो के लिए, रेशियो को आप जब A B C के लिए ए बी सी एंड डी के लिए सॉल्व करोगे, then you will get the values of a b c d. You just substitute those values into this, that will be your required transformation. Is this clear? तो ऐसे भी कर सकते हो आप. हेलो.
Yes.
For example, like suppose if we ask to find the transformation which maps the points in z plane 1, I and -1, that transforms to the point in w plane to I 0 and say -I. ठीक है. तो इन पॉइंट्स को आप इमेजिन कर रहे हो इसको कि एक्चुअली व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू. सी हियर, दिस इज सपोज z प्लेन, दिस इज w प्लेन. ठीक है. तो 1 कहाँ होता है z प्लेन में? यहाँ होता है ना. -1 कहाँ होता है? यहाँ, राइट. दिस इज, एंड I कहाँ होता है? यहाँ, राइट. दिस इज I. So where this, and suppose 1 is getting mapped to I, तो I मतलब यहाँ है in W plane, then I is getting mapped to 0 यहाँ, and -1 is getting mapped to -I. Is this clear? तो ये जो पॉइंट है -1, ये -I को मैप हो रहा है. I is getting mapped to 0 and 1 is getting mapped to I. Hello. This is u v plane or w plane, and this is xy plane or z plane. Is this clear? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this point is getting mapped to these points. तो इन पॉइंट्स को मैप करने वाला फंक्शन कौन सा है? इन पॉइंट को इस शहर से इस शहर में ले जाने वाली बस कौन सी है, वो बस हम फाइंड आउट कर रहे हैं. द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इस सिटी से इस सिटी. तो हाउ डू वी फाइंड दैट? वी कैन डू इट बाय क्रॉस रेशियो प्रॉपर्टी और बाय सिंपल बेसिक डेफिनेशन. W इज इक्वल टू से a प्लस बी जेड अपॉन सी प्लस डी जेड. तो बताओ मुझे W1 क्या है? W1 इज I सपोज, है ना. I इक्वल टू a प्लस बी इंटू जेड. जेड क्या है? 1 अपॉन Z1 है ना. Z मीन Z1, W1 एंड Z1. तो C प्लस D इंटू 1. तो यहां से मुझे क्या मिल गया? यहां से मुझे मिल गया A प्लस बी इज इक्वल टू I इंटू सी प्लस डी. यस और नो? ये मेरा फर्स्ट एक्सप्रेशन है. अभी देखो सेकेंड पॉइंट क्या है. सेकेंड दिया है I मैप्स टू 0 ना. तो दिस इज W1 एंड W2. तो नहीं, सॉरी, I maps to 0, right. So this is Z1, Z2 and this is W2. तो बताओ 0 इक्वल टू क्या होगा? 0 इक्वल टू A प्लस बी आई अपॉन C प्लस डी आई.
Okay.
लेकिन आप डी सी प्लस डी आई से इसको मल्टीप्लाई करोगे 0 के, तो क्या होगा? दैट विल बी सिंपली A प्लस बी आई इक्वल टू 0, इजंट इट? तो यहां से मुझे मिल गया, क्या मिल गया मुझे? A इक्वल टू माइनस बी आई. दैट इज माई सेकेंड एक्सप्रेशन. एंड थर्ड से क्या मिलेगा? थर्ड क्या पॉइंट दिया है? -1. -1 इज गेटिंग मैप टू माइनस आई. तो कैसे सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे? -I इक्वल टू A प्लस बी इंटू -1 अपॉन C प्लस डी इंटू -1. तो यहां से मुझे क्या मिलेगा? -IC प्लस ID इज इक्वल टू A माइनस बी. एंड दैट इज इक्वेशन नंबर 3. जब आप इन तीनों इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करोगे एक साथ, तो you'll get the values of A, B, C, D, and you just substitute those values into the basic definition A plus BZ upon C plus DZ. By substituting the values of A, B, C, D, we will get the required transformation. So I have that 1 plus IZ upon 1 minus IZ. You just check whether it is correct or not. Where A is 1, C is 1, B is I, and D is minus I. Can you do this? Can you solve these three expressions?
Yes.
So this is what all about the bilinear transformation. Only one point remains to discuss under this transformation. We will be required only 15 to 20 minutes, max 15 minutes. Okay. And then the whole syllabus will be over. So please let me know when we'll get proper time. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll be having lecture, regular lecture. Okay, we stop here. Thank you, everyone. Just check an attendance. Yeah, you just write your roll numbers in chat box and you can leave. Thank you.